Hi, this is DarkFox127 and welcome to another Caranthir Tower development live stream. Today is going to be hopefully very good, hopefully very different. I wanted to do something with the game itself. I want to be able to go in game and check things out, and so I've done my little bit of research, I've tested it a bit, and rather than just all creation kit, I want to be able to sort of do something in the kit, jump into game. Now the only way I'm going to do that probably is by closing the creation kit, because no doubt my computer will want to go ahead and crash, even though it should have enough juice and memory. So what might happen is I'll probably just have like a walk around the tower to begin with now, and then what we'll do is jump back in the kit, and then maybe later on after we've made some changes we'll hop back to the game and see what happens there. So the first thing, I want to just sort the fences thing with this. I want this stuck on the desktop. I was hoping I could do that. It's not letting me do it. Oh, there we go. Excluding fences. So we are going to start up the game. Just quickly check the Twitch chat. Okay, let's load up the game, shall we? And see how far I've got. Now the screen is going to go to a new background, hopefully, until the game loads up. Now obviously if I tried to stream the game in 1080, given that I'm on one monitor, that was going to cause trouble, both performance wise, stream wise, and the fact that I won't be able to see if it's even working. So I'll be rambling on and won't be able to check the chat or anything, and people will probably be there screaming for 2 minutes going, it's not working. So this method should now work, because I can see my game, or you can see my game, and I can see my desktop. I can see if this is running properly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start in the library where we've all been sort of seen before, and I'll work my way through a couple of areas while it loads up. I never get anything on my load screens anymore, it's so annoying. Just smoke. Mainly. Last thing. Right. Just ignore the stuff in the top left, that's like random mods loading, of course. And as you can see from the library, it's getting there, and I think in today's stream I might do some work with this. I've made the portals smaller. I'm trying to get sort of a standard for the sizes of the portals at the moment. And I have also changed, I've decided I'm going to have sort of a default colour scheme for each room. So in the case of the library it's going to be blue, so rugs, drapes, banners, things are going to be blue. And then in the alchemy lab green, red in the mage quarters, and I might just give you the option to swap things out colour wise in an MCM menu or something, or even rugs in the corner, swap things out, but have a default colour setting which is kind of laid out. And like I say, today creation kit tutorial will probably go ahead and fill this table with different types of books which hopefully teach you a skill. Whether I'll do the scripting for the skill is another thing. But I can also show how this works. Now this chest, right, yes, it's the wrong way round. Oops. But this chest is full of things for these displays which I can now show off. See, I didn't really want to do a short video and another short video and another short video on my YouTube channel just for like, this is how this works, this is how this works. I want to do little snippets and things like this within the stream. So I can do that now, so we can put the claws in. Obviously I have to go through the game and find the damn things, but I've cheated. And you should be able to take them in now at will. And you will get that same claw back as well. So it's not removing it and then giving you a new version, it's the version you had before. So the same will go for the masks, which work like this. So if you've seen the other streams, you'll know that I set this up and there was a problem with it, and now it should be working. Oh yeah, there things, of course. I had to change a few things. I'm not sure if the restrict works yet. I think I've got to sort out the restrict issue, because it's supposed to stop me from putting specific items in, so that needs fixing. But if I start putting the masks in, if you can just see in the background there, they are actually appearing. and it's a much better script than the ones that have been used in Mershgum Estate in the past and all my other mods. It's much refined. Now I've got the masks over here. I actually need to initially disable these because they shouldn't be here at the minute. But they do work the same way, as you can see. You can take them on and off. Mirror arc isn't done yet. So this is all coming together quite nicely. Put some planters around. The general design's coming on. And something I've got to now tweak the script. I scripted this earlier on. I've got to tweak the script a bit. But you can activate the portals and you'll require a Grand Soul Gem to begin with. This shouldn't be lit up, by the way. This should be dark. So it'll be dark, unused, sort of like it's broken or it's just out of power basically. And you'll have to feed a Grand Soul Gem into it. That'll power it up and then you'll be able to take, well, go to different sections. So actually I will TFC because I can't get here any other way at the minute. I'll go down and slightly show you this. I have a new idea for the entrance. This is going to be where you beam in for the first time. I think I've mentioned that before. But this, if you can just about see it, this pillar here, this entire entrance has another portal on top. Now what will happen is this will send you outside, but if you want this thing down and you want to access that portal, which will send you across the rest of the tower, you'll be able to hit a button which is going on this pedestal here. Whole thing will go down and it'll just sort of change the look of the room. This will be out of the way and you'll get access to the other portal. So that's the plan anyway. Whether I'll get to do that in this stream, I don't know. And the thing I've been working on, I've uploaded some images of this already on my website and my Facebook page. But I've been working hard the last couple of days on the alchemy lab, which I've kind of just completely ballsed up. There we go, that's actually the mage quarters. Here's the main lift here and the alchemy lab, ladies and gentlemen. So this is coming along quite nice as well. The portal in here is a little smaller just to fit it into the place, and this will work in the same way. You'll have to activate each of these. Very similar to how the portal room worked in the old one. You'll have to excuse me for my voice is going croaky. For some reason, I don't know. I haven't spoken much all day, and now my voice is just like, whoa, what are you doing? So, could be that dodgy orange juice actually. But yeah, this is the alchemy lab. Nice bright windows which light up the actual lab area. You've got all of the ingredients in the middle which should respawn after so many days, like any ingredients that you pick up. So you can gather all this up. That'll respawn. So that's very similar to what Frostcrag's Spire had in it. And you've got more stuff over there. Still not finished. I think there's some more that I want to put in. Maybe try and decorate it up a little more. So as you can see, I've got the green theme with the banners. Water trickling down, although I have got a sort of like sound effects for that and things. And if we go around here, this is going to be the new mage quarters. Now at the start this portal wasn't here, this was blank, and I was going to have walls here blocking areas off. I was like, this is just it looked terrible, and I needed a way of filling in some of the room because it's far too large. As you can see, the size of the bed, far too large. So I decided if I put a portal in, it kind of separates that half of the room with this half, and this half can show certain things off, have the button for opening the roof up, and I figured when the roof opens up, that middle bit at the top wouldn't have any technically wouldn't have any support to it. So what I might do is have something like that rises up out of this pillar here, connects onto that. You hear a big thud. Oh, crouching. Hear a big thud, and then sort of the outer edges start to disappear one after the other with a big magical effect. That opens up to outside. Really cool. In fact, I'm just trying to see if what's supposed to be there is actually there, because it doesn't appear to be. For some reason the effect's not there. That's supposed to be a large fiery effect, and I'm not sure why it's not there. But that's meant to be a load of flames which lights the room up. That's weird why that isn't there, I don't know. But I've got a suspicion actually. So yeah, this is another main portal here. This again won't work yet. I need to set this up now. in fact. Over here I found these pieces, twisted them, put my own wood on. Oh, talking to the wood, I forgot nobody's really seen the wood yet. Brand new wooden texture. Sort of put it together to make my own table design. That's actually Dawn Guard Snow Elf architecture, retextured to be dwarven / wooden, which is kind of the theme I'm going with the whole tower. That image there is going to be a picture of the exterior once it's finished, so that's going to be a painting of the tower, and it's coming along quite nice. I think that's pretty much everything that I really want to show you for now anyway. I think that's pretty much everything I've done, but I've got this done in a couple of days, so if I keep at it at about the same level, I should be able to get a hell of a lot done in a very short time. Ah, these. Do I want to show you these? Solid. Yeah. Okay. Replenish font. This is basically to replenish health. This is basically to replenish Magicka. Well, at the minute it's not replenishing it, it's sort of giving you a boost, but what it is doing is also removing disease. So it'll remove diseases from you, and it will give you a boost in Magicka and health. And basically, they've been retextured, as you can see. They're actually meant to be like the Doomstone things. And if you hit one, you can use them once per day. They'll glow for a little while, shine up into the sky sort of thing. And there we go. And the same will happen with the other one. But if you try and use it again, it'll say it can only be used once per day. And that doesn't even run off a script, so there's not going to be any sort of constant running script for every one of these. It runs off a magic effect that should be on yourself, so it detects whether that's running. If that's still running, there's no need to give it you again. Otherwise, what it would do if you went for 12 hours, it would just boost it up again by another 24, and you'd be able to sort of cheat it that way. I just want it to run for 24 hours, and basically when it detects that that's run out, that will activate again. And of course you can use the health one, which does roughly the same thing. It's just a different, should be a different effect on you really. It hasn't. Ah, there we go. So at the minute I've just thought it's doing the standard cure disease effect around you, so I might have to change that so it's relevant to health or Magicka, because the cure diseases is just one part of that. So yeah, that's the tower at the moment. Got some mannequins which need slightly replacing because they're a bit iffy. Bed will need retexturing to be either white, red or whatever you want. Might be customizable, don't know yet. And that's really it at the minute. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to work on also these over here. We're going to work on putting some custom statues in. So if you've seen the Hearthfire statues and stuff that you can get, the only problem with the Hearthfire ones is the fact that once you've created something, it sticks. I don't think you can remove it. Mine will. Mine you'll be able to make something, swap it out afterwards if you don't like it. So yeah, I think I will quit the game and we will load up the creation kit and get to work. So switch this over and load up the creation kit. And while that's loading, I'll check the Twitch chat if we've got any feedback, anybody chatting. So yeah, really wanted to show some of that stuff off. I've been dying to show that stuff. Really had some good ideas the last few days for things. And if you're wondering why that's purple, it's the EMB. The EMB likes to activate itself through the creation kit, so I can also turn that on and off so I can see what the EMB is going to look like roughly through the kit, the lighting and stuff. I should be able to turn it off. There we go. That'll go back to its normal grey. Hopefully it's just going to load reasonably quick, but it might take a while. So let's check on the chat. Come on, one person, really? Seems like everyone's got something better to do on a Saturday evening, I think. But yeah, it does look quite good. So it shouldn't take too long. So I think I'll sort those portals first, and depending on how performance is, should be good to go. Should be able to go straight back in game. Check that out, see what it's like. Yep. Now, I have been planning on getting some more tutorials recorded, but I haven't quite had the time yet, so... Oh, come on. Should be loaded by now, surely. Even with stuff going. I think if there was anything else, I might show if I get round to... oh my god, actually thinking about it, I've got like 3 things. If I do sit here for that long and stream long enough, I've got 3 things to do. I think the first thing will be the portals. The second thing is Windows needs to sod off. The third thing is the statues that I mentioned in the mage quarters. And the fourth thing can be translating that thing in the lobby that lowers down. So if I do that, I'll show what you have to do with meshes to get the collision to go with it. Because if you just tell it to translate something with scripting, collision stays on, which is a pain. Which means that even though the item's down in the floor, the collision's still there and you're bumping into an invisible wall. So now this is finally loaded. Where are we going? So let's go to Apex. Doesn't really matter where we go. It's this script I've got to change anyway. Now the way this is going to work is each portal is going to have its own global variable. I've tried to do an internal integer and it's just not having it. So I'll explain that. If I double click on this portal, edit the source of script, the first thing it does, it's going to check whether it's supposed to be active. I'm going to change this now to being a global variable. Each one will have its own. By default, the global variable will be 0, meaning it's deactive. Once you've used the soul gem, it'll activate and it'll check that. So it'll go, is it activated? If it's already activated, go ahead and bring up the menu for where you want to go. If it isn't, and the player has a grand soul gem, doesn't have a grand soul gem even, so if it's deactivated and the player doesn't have a soul gem, tell them they're going to need one. Otherwise, if the others aren't true, so it's deactivated, and the player, obviously, it's opposite to this, does have a soul gem, then you'll give them the option to charge it up. So the thing is, the player might accidentally activate this, see, so I want to give them the option whether they do want to charge it now. They might have a grand soul gem on them, but they might not want to use it. So then you can go ahead and hit yes, and it'll use it. So what I want to do is change this, which was going to be an integer that it just adds 1 to, which meets that requirement, but for some reason it's not doing it. So this needs to be a global variable property. One moment. TV's trying to turn itself off again. Just going to move my phone as well. It's going to go off otherwise. And what I want this to be is portal global rather than integer. Global variable. Hopefully I've typed that right. Made a bit of an awkward angle typing. And this needs to check if that global variable is 0 or 1. So if it's 1, right. So bracket if portal global dot get value, so pull the value of the global, if that equals 1, go ahead and do that. And then of course, once you've decided that you do want to charge a soul gem, that means to put it as active, so this needs to be 1. So you need to tell it to turn it into sort of active portal. So you need to go portal global dot set value to 1. That should save. There we go. It's compiled fine. Double click on that, we should have portal global there. And what I need to do is each one needs to have their own global, because if it does a global for every portal, then you're only ever going to have to charge 1, which doesn't make sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go global under miscellaneous, and we are going to go CT underscore global underscore portal, and have one for the alchemy lab. By default the value is going to be 0, not going to change any of these. Click OK. I'm going to search for that global and make some copies of it for the different places. One for the library as well. Mage quarters. There will also be a forge, which is not built yet. Alchemy lab, forge, library, lobby, mage quarters. That should be all of them. Then I'll go in here and I'll select that global. So this is the alchemy lab. And I want to go to each of my portals. Now you notice that I'm selecting water. This has a large sort of collision around it. So I'm going to hide these because I've accidentally selected them a number of times. You've got to be careful of things like that. I keep double tapping 1 to hide it and show it so I know what I'm selecting. Then this is going to be the mage quarters. Then we need to go to the central section. Set global on those. Where are we now? Library. Go down. This one is going to be for the lobby. Hopefully those should work now if I've set everything up correctly. I've been working on them all day, but I haven't, as you've seen, I haven't actually got them working yet. So I'm just going to save, make sure I've saved. Sometimes I'll save like 3 times in 10 seconds. It's ridiculous. I'm kind of paranoid about losing work. And now, I don't know, should I risk it? Should I risk closing it and loading the game? I think I am going to close it. I have got a new processor lined up, which should help me do this crap a hell of a lot easier. So I'm going to close that. And we're going to load up the game, and that should work. Hopefully. No. Oh, actually, never mind. I was going to say I've ballsed up because I needed to put something in a chest. I need to put a load of grand soul gems in, but I can show you how to work the console command if there's people that don't know how certain things like that work. So here we go. If we can get in. Funny way of spelling central. There we go. So I'm just going to go to central first and then make my way around the place there. I've already targeted the object references, the X mark headings that you saw on the portals, and then each portal has their own menu. So I'm going to need some grand soul gems, so I'm going to type help space grand. Now there's a hell of a lot of crap on the screen, so I'm going to use the page up and page down, in this case page up, until I find the item that I need. There we go, you can see soldier. Now you don't know which one it is, luckily I do. FF is for a filled one, FC is for an empty one. In this case I'm going to need some filled ones. So I'm going to go player dot add item 0002 E4 FF space, and we'll just have 10 of them. And we should be good to go if I take a look. There we go, filled grand soul gems. And if we turn around, oh crap, I haven't disabled the light, but basically I'll do that when we go back in. Make sure the light's off to begin with. Would you like to charge the portal with a grand soul gem? Filled grand soul gem? No, that'll do nothing. Yes, that'll charge it, and then it will light up. And then you do get the menu, so it's like please choose a location. In this case we'll go to the alchemy lab. And as you can see, we haven't gone to the alchemy lab. Lobby? Okay, so for some reason that's not working, and I think I have a theory as to why. Wondering. Don't think I remember how to do it. I was going to try and update the script without going in game, but I'll try one of the other portals and then we'll go in. This is why I wanted to be able to just load it up. Might be for some reason I've missed the properties on this. Yes. Well, that is weird. Basically what it is there should be 3 lines. I've only done 2. I thought I could get away with it. But you have a line which is move to move the player to where you want to go. And there is a line for enabling fast travel, because usually you can't do that kind of thing indoors. And then there's a line for actually fast travelling. Now the fast travel one should be moving the player, but it isn't. But what it will do is force followers to come with you. So I think I need all 3 lines. So I need the move to command, which I haven't included because I thought the fast travel would do it for me. So I'll show you that in a moment. So that is annoying, and I can disable the lights as well. This one doesn't have a light because otherwise the whole lighting system in here goes AWOL. It's just sort of hit the limitation and the radiuses of it, and I've got the lighting pretty good. In fact, before we come out, I'll show you one thing to do with it before I forget. It will get dark at night. So if we just wait around. Gets around 7 o'clock, you can see it's getting dark. Really gives you that feel that it's night time inside the tower. So it's gone all nice and dark and dreary, and the only thing lit up is the centre and the sconces, which is cool. So we're going to go out and we're gonna fix that up. I was kind of hoping that would have just worked. And we'll load the kit back up. Didn't take too long, so. Although at least we're 8. Could be here forever. If it does mess up, it's going to be a very short stream. Okay. Turn the E and B off might help. Never understood glow walls. Just like an on and off switch I'm using them for, so. Yeah. The reason this has got something wrong with it is I've actually screwed up. I tried to skip a step in a way. Apologies for any any background noise. I have very clumsy neighbours. Surprised we haven't got many people, actually. I think throughout the week seems to be the best time for streaming. Well on in the evening for me, because a lot of the people that watch me tend to be from different parts of the world, and they're either ahead of me in time or behind. And I would have streamed earlier, but I probably would have literally got nobody watching, because way too early. But either way, this will go up on YouTube anyway, so. Shouldn't take long. As I say, oh, for God, go away. Sod off Windows. No performance problem. You notice it's doing it when the kit's loading? It thinks the kit's not responding, so it gets scared. 12 gig of RAM. I think you can handle a stream and the creation kit. Right, let's try again. Now, this error seems to be common with the DLCs. This little error is one of my own fault, which I'll have to finish. This little error is in the game. This little error is from one of the game's books. And this little error is from the game as well. It's kind of like this little piggy went to market. Anyway, kidding around basically. Got to keep it entertaining somehow. What are we doing? So just the amount of errors is just crazy sometimes. But only one of them was mine. So let's take a look. Here's the lines I was talking about. As you can see, game.enabled fast travel, game.fast travel, move to, how does move to go? It should player f dot move to. You see, Papyrus scripting is so wonderful in that sometimes it's player first, location second, and in other times, if it's something else, it might be the location or item first and the reference second. Crazy. In this case, I think it's player dot where to move to. So it needs to be location 1. Just need to add this to each option. And of course change the location. Block 5. And location 6. That should be fine. There we go. Shouldn't be anything else I have to fill in. As you can see here, basically I've done a standard 6 locations because there might be more in the future. And then what you do is, if you're wondering why I missed one out, it basically says option 1 send to, option 2 send to, 3, 4, and these options are matching up with the menu system, which there is a different menu system for each portal. Because some of them are going to vary, they're not going to include their self in the menu. So you can see this is lobby, so lobby has to be out of the menu. This is the wrong one, this is totally wrong. But yeah, so they change. So if it's Alchemy Lab, lobby goes back in, Alchemy goes there, but the order of them changes, the number that corresponds with them changes, so I have to match the location with where it is on the menu. And I've actually only left one out because that will be the forge, but the forge isn't made yet, so there's nothing to link to it. So yeah, the order changes, so they each need their own menu. Now I could go back in and test this, but I'd have to close the kit and wait for it to open, so we might as well do a fair bit of work before we do that. So Those I'm not going to sort now. This I need to think. This is a hell of a lot simpler than it used to be, but it's still a little confusing, so I'm going to have to dig out an old script. Old script. It's one from Mershkum, it's not that old, but it seems it to me. So this should be interesting. Let's see. What would it be called? What would it be called? Oh, there it is. Trophy Stand Xmas. Gaming in Origin. Oh dear. Not nah. Let's be fair, the only reason anybody uses Origin or Uplay is for another game that they wish was on Steam. Through Steam. So, okay. No worries. Right. Yep. 2 scripts involved. Or 1 script? Nah. It's supposed to be 2 scripts. Should be 2 scripts involved with this. Let me think. You can ignore the Christmas tree. There won't be such a thing in this one, at least for the moment. So I can take that out. Oops. Trophy marker place at me. Ah! Perfect example of when things get switched around. Trophy marker, the place to put it. Yeah. Logical? Nah. Move to. It's like player.move to location. In this case, it's what the thing is being placed where. So, yeah, it's the other way around. Excuse me a minute. There we go. So it's the other way around. On container change, so this will go on the item itself. And trophy enabler, enable. That makes sense. And then trophy.setValue to 1. Trophy.setValue. This. Oh no. I think I know what that is. And going to get play remove item trophy. Okay, so this goes on an item. Hey, you're on TV. Right. This script we need to steal. Ah, Dragon Age is more important. To be honest, I'd rather play Dragon Age than to listen to me ramble on. Okay, so we've just stole 1 script. I'm sure there's another one. There'll be another script. Oh, jeez. I'm not going to explain this until I've set some of it up, otherwise everyone's just going to be wondering what the hell I'm on about. Okie dokie. I'm going to need an item. Right. So, I don't know if Bethesda do it this way. I think they do. But the way I do it is there is a miscellaneous item that you craft. So we have a craft menu. In this case, it's not going to be a workbench. We're going to, you know what I'm explaining it on. It's the only way to explain it is to explain it before I've explained all of it. So I explained some of it, or all of it. So you've got you've got a pedestal here, which will be an activator. When you activate it, it'll essentially open up a craft menu. You will select what you want in that craft menu, which crafts a miscellaneous item, right? So it could be a key, could be anything, right? And this needs to look like the thing we're crafting. In this case, a statue. Statues, load screen. That's where you want to go for those. So if you get a load screen, under here. Oh crap, I had a perfect one then. Right, so if we're placing this down, this is going to be our miscellaneous item. So what we do is we go edit, we take the directory of the NIF, make it into a miscellaneous item. essentially it's going to be like we are crafting that, right? Then the script that we're stealing now, we're going to place onto this, and it'll detect when it's changed location. Now it'll change location when it's added to the player's inventory. It'll change container even, not location. So as you saw on that script on container change, it changes location. So we hit this activator, activates the craft menu, we craft this item notices it's in the player's inventory, and then it will enable, no, it won't enable, incorrect. What it will do, it will create a activator version of itself. So like that we just saw, the static, it'll be an activator version of that. And what'll happen is, well, there you go, you've got it, you've got your thing where you want it. What we'll do is we'll have an X marker heading, it'll put it at that X marker heading, it'll look like you've just put a statue there. Now if you want to remove the statue needs to have its own script, and this statue's going to be an activator. So we'll click on that, you'll be able to click on it, it says remove, and what it'll do, it'll just simply delete itself, easy, and then you'll be able to just click on your stand again. So that global variable you saw that I was a little confused, that should be a global variable that all statues use. So it's a switch, an on-off switch, saying if the pedestal will actually either work or allow you to see items. Because what you don't want to do is craft an item, place a statue down basically, and then be able to place another statue on top of it. So we need an on-off switch or something to detect whether there's a statue there already. So when you disable it by clicking on it, it'll put this variable back to say there's no longer anything there, you can put a statue back down. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's check the Twitch chat and see if anyone's confused yet. How do you get it to appear the right way around? Yeah, that's what I've basically just covered. Yeah, it's the X marker. The X marker is going to have a specific pointing direction. That's what the point on these things are. If I find the X marker we're going to need, so it's placed at me, but you're actually just placing it at the X marker, and it'll, here, this point, that's where it'll be facing, and it should floor it exactly floored where the X marker's floored. So it'll place the thing there. And I'm pretty certain that's how Bethesda have done it, because I think they have miscellaneous. What the hell was that? Yeah. They have miscellaneous items, because you can't see Bethesda scripts, and they don't provide the source in the BSA. Bastards. But they have miscellaneous items, they have X marker headings, and they have pedestals. The only difference being mine's better, because you can actually remove the statue afterwards, whereas with Hearthfire, you can't remove the statue. It's just put there, and there we go. Good luck. I think if they don't let you remove them, mine's better. So anyway, yeah, basically that's what we're doing. That's how it's going to work. If it works, should work. I've done it in merge screen, but I've only done it with one pedestal. So this time I'm having multiple. So each time I make a mod, I try and improve upon the features I had before. In this case, just adding more. Now, the only restriction to this is you can't have anything. You can't have anything in the game. The thing that you are creating has to have collision on the mesh. So the mesh, if the mesh doesn't have a collision, you can't activate it. It can't be an activator. You can't remove it, if that makes sense. Now, I think I checked the majority of the build your own home ones that they created. I always wondered why they didn't use the ones they already had on load screen. Now, load screen meshes, the majority of them don't have collision. So the reason they made them again is because when it came to Hearthfire and they came to doing these statues, they had to have versions of them with collision. So the separate versions. So basically, if you see the same thing twice as a static, it's probably because one's got collision and one doesn't. And basically what I'm saying is if it doesn't have collision, you won't get the prompt. You won't be able to hover over it. So yeah, it has to have collision. Anyway. Crazy. Let's go CT Misc Trophy. And we'll go, I'm not going to go with the Dragon Priest. In fact, that's probably not even got collision. So it won't work. I'm going to go with a bear. I'm just going to do one in this live stream. Otherwise, it's just going to be tedious. Just to show people how it works. The value, I don't know. It looks good to put a value, so 200, even though you're not buying it. Weight, just put 15 for them all. So look, it's heavy, and we'll have bear trophy. Yeah, technically, yeah, it's technically going to be a trophy. The other thing is keywords. For those of you that don't know how keywords work with a crafting system, is the what are the common ones? It's just via things like usually material, weapon material, Falmer, drought determines what category it falls under on the menu system. When it comes to using the build your own home categories, like for building materials or house, excuse me, type in, I think it's something along the lines of category. As you can see, these are them. So it's got smithing, building containers, weapon shelf, and you can put them in. So in this case, I might want to put them as furniture because they're kind of furniture pieces. So it'll have a category name furniture, which they'll all come under. Script we'll be able to place on once we've confirmed this at least once. And what I want to do is I want to type in trophy, and I do actually want to use the build your own home ones. Like I say, these are redone meshes from vanilla but with collision, so this will work. Now the other thing is you've got to take into consideration what the mesh is. This being a long bear, it's not going to work. It's going to be poking out. It's going to look rather stupid, or it's going to be too lengthways. I've got to have ones which are sort of stand up like this. They should all be roughly a standard size too, so shouldn't be a worry about them all being two different sizes. And I'm going to want to select, oh wait, this is getting a little laggish. Copy that. Come on. Edit that. And then place that in there. There we go. So we've got the bear. Another thing to mention, just for those of you creating meshes for maybe a build your own home thing with a crafting system that I've done a tutorial on, might not have mentioned it in that. You'll notice that the default viewing of the item is it's looking the wrong way. Now the front on the mesh is actually opposite to where the camera defaults to. So the camera's default looking at the back of the object. So if you have an object that you want in the menu system to be obviously facing a certain way, in the case of the bear you want it looking at you that way, then once you hit preview on this, the back is to you. Now that's good. The back of the thing needs to be at you. The front of the item needs to be facing away from you, basically. So if this mesh was spin the other way around, then in the menu it would be spun the wrong way around. It just looks daft in the menu, basically. So I'm gonna have to stop bloody rambling now. We're gonna have to get on with this. People's probably like, want a trophy? So yeah. Is that 3 scripts? In fact, that's probably going to be 3 scripts. 1 script on the activator, 1 script on the MISC item, and 1 script on the activator version. So let's go ahead and make that. We are going to need to go back into that now, and hopefully we've still got that script copied. Bugger that usual error message off. Once you've got the DLCs, you get that every time you go to script. New CTT script trophy MISC, so I know what version it is. That's it. I don't really know why I put documentation string, because it's not going to help me, because I already know what it does, but it's just fun. It's cool. On activate. I can never remember the on activate line, so I'm just going to go to my usual source here. It's getting late, got a croaky voice, and I'm under pressure. That's my excuse. Let's get on activate. It's just easier to copy and paste stuff this way. Ha! Talking of copy and paste. Oh, balls. Yeah, we've lost it. I have to copy it back. Wrong. In fact, not wrong. You'll have the last loaded one on. Copy that. Let's get that in there out of the way first. Oh no, we've already got it. Of course, it's not on activate, it's on container change. Never mind. I'm losing my mind. So, yeah. Okay. On container change. Trophy marker, trophy, blah, blah. Okay. So you can see that we've got like more G trophy. These need to change. I wonder if anyone caught that. Never mind. More G. Right. Basically, Murshcom. That's what that's actually for. That's going to be CT underscore global. Global trophy. More ref trophy enabler. Now in this case I'm not going to disable the enabler. Disable the enabler. Oh Jesus. In fact, what is that there for? Yeah. I'm going to get rid of that because I'm going to do it a different way. Then we've got trophy marker placement me. So trophy marker my trophy, that stays the same. This needs to change in terms of the global's name to CT underscore global underscore trophy. That's going to be trophy. Or should we get enabler? That can go. Don't need that anymore. And we've got trophy marker being the X mark heading. That makes sense, that's fine. This is going to be different. I've changed the way I do this now. I say player instead, player F. Somebody informed me that's a much cleaner and quicker way for the script to operate. So there we go. Hey, compiled successfully. No doubt I'll make an error at some point. Autofill should fill some of those in. Now my trophy, CT global trophy, we're going to need a global variable. This is just our on and off switch again. So if we do that, that should now fill in. And those are the only three properties. Okay to them for the moment, and what we're going to need is an activator. So I'm going to need a pedestal. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to snag the same design one as we've got over here. Oh, that needs spinning anyway. I've just got to mess that up. What was that? Paste in place. Interesting. Right. Never looked at that. I'll spin that round. Probably going to make this. In fact, yeah, size is probably okay. These need to come out a lot more then. See if that'll do. Just come out enough to rely on the one. Whoops. Be very, very careful here. They look pretty much level. I think so. Yep. Because that was an accurate way of measuring it. Right. I think I'm probably going to get 2 on each of these. So this hasn't got to be exact for the minute. We just need it to work mainly. So I'm still saying try and do it. Anyway, I'm going to need this to be an activator. So I'm going to copy that, cancel out twice, go activate and make a brand new version of it. There we go. These let me check something. This will look like crap. I know it will. Yeah. I need to remove the vertex colours on the mesh and save that as its separate own thing if I want to make that a wooden thing around the side, just so it looks a bit more unique. But I'll leave that for now. Then we want this to be CT. Does that even say activate? I don't know. CT activator underscore trophy base. So trophy base, activate trophy base. That's fine. Now I need to go back in, edit that. This is going to show up a craft menu. Now, this is going to be fun. There was a way I did this before. It was being a bit tricky. So, rather than this trying to open up a craft menu itself, or this being a piece of furniture or a craft menu, I'm going to get something that I already know works and get this to activate that when activated itself. So this is going to need a base script of default activate a linked reference. Default activate link ref somewhere on here. Don't tell me I've got to make it my own script. Do once. Default script internally triggers when hit activate link reference. Now, if that's got a variable, do once, bool, default, do once, untick, yep. Only actor. Hover over that might tell us what it is. Set its property if you wish only allow activation from a specific actor such as the player. Yes, that would probably make sense. So any that should default to player ref, which it bloody well hasn't. Clear that for you. Let's try that again, see if that works. You evil thing. There it is, very top. You evil people. That should select. Right, so player only doesn't do once, does it every time. Link reference, okay, that's going to have a link reference to the piece of furniture, and this is, if you don't know how, this is how we do our own crafting menu. So first of off, what fantastic English. First of all, CT underscore piece of furniture underscore craft underscore trophy. I'm just going to call it trophy station for now, but I'll probably change that. Keywords, it's going to need a brand new keyword that will set our recipes aside from all of the rest. So CT underscore keyword underscore red, because it's my favourite colour. Get to know each other. Right, CT keyword, and we'll call this craft trophy. And doesn't need a script on it. That's not going to be enchanting. We don't want it to be an enchanting menu. We want it just to create a general object so we can have our object. We don't want a usage skill. And then we want, that is probably going to be fine actually. Okay, create new form. Then I'm going to find it. CT underscore furniture trophy, and rather than put it in the void, I'm going to slip it just into there, and I'm going to give it an actual reference ID. So CT underscore ref craft trophy. And while I remember, because I've already forgot, I want to just go ahead and disable these lights for these, and then I'll come back. Whoops. Oh no, that was right. And then that needs to be linked ref to that. Okay, items haven't shown up, it's gone deleted off my store. Well, not deleted, but not shown it. So if it's F5 to refresh, does that quite a lot. And if we just want to see what this looks like with the EMB, there's the fire as well. That's the fire that was supposed to be there. I have a funny feeling about that. I think I know what it is, and I think that's going to work right into my hands as to how I want that to happen. That by default will be in an animation state of it not flaming. So what I have usually in Caranthir Tower is where as soon as you enter an area for the first time, all the flames fire up. So the place is literally coming to life. And that's going to work perfectly if by default it's not doing it. Better than enabling it. Anyway, back to the trophy. As I say, this script states, not that script, we've got to replace it with the activator. And we'll do that now, Control F. Not same as base object, because I don't want to replace it with the static. I want to replace it with CT activator trophy base. And then the script states that it needs to be a link reference, so we need to go to link ref, double click on that, double click on our trophy. There we go. So when we hit that, it's going to activate this, which in turn is going to show us a craft menu for any recipes that we make. And just for now, I'm just going to make the recipe until we go back and set some stuff up. So recipe. It's going to be under items, construction, and if you wipe out the filter, you'll see this is all the recipes for things that you can craft in Skyrim in different ways. I'm going to create a brand new one. Give me a trophy recipe for a bear. Created item. That's going to be that misc item we created earlier. Our trophy. Requirements. This is going to be materials. I'm going to leave this as blank because it's easy to test it then. And then if I want to, I can put stuff back. For this, it's going to get that the value is 0. So it's going to get global. Specify the global we made for trophies. This will mean that you won't be able to place a trophy on top if one already exists, and this is basically our on and off switch. Click OK, equal to 1, so it has to be on 0. And that should be that. Keyword is the keyword for our bench, which was craft trophy. So this is only going to work. This is only going to show on this, it's not going to show in any other crafting menus. Click OK. And what we've got now is to put an X marker heading. So we're going to want one of them on, as I said. You're going to want to face that the correct way. Get that as accurate as we can and floored. Give that a ref. In fact, I'm just going to knock the ENB off. I don't want to do that. I want to just give that a reference. I usually put X for X markers and such. Trophy underscore 01. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go back to our item now that we've created the things that we need. And we're going to go to our bear, edit the properties. My trophy, that's going to have to be made as well. So we're going to need the activator version I was talking about. Trophy item is actually going to be itself, because it won't be out. You can't put self in the script for some reason. It doesn't know how to remove itself. It's weird. You have to just state itself as a misc item. Trophy marker, that's a marker. And then we've got trophy, which I'm just going to leave for a second. This is where we need to copy this, and we need to have an activator version of the trophy. So I'm going to go under activator, new. The activate text is going to be remove, so when we highlight over it, it's going to say remove. This will be bear trophy. Activate trophy bear. Make sure under meshes, paste that model we copied. As you can see, by default the camera is facing from behind, meaning it's facing the right way, meaning it could be pointing this way. Okay. Hit OK again. That's going to need its own script, but I'll do that shortly. What we're going to do, go back in here, state the activator we just made. I will have to do a proper slow down professional version of this for a tutorial eventually. And now all we have is, so that's going to activate the crafting menu. This is going to let us create the bear, the menu is. From that, when that's made, it's going to enable a bear, make one there. And now we need to be able to click on that, have it remove itself, and set that global variable back. Now hopefully I can just find the script in here, so it's going to be a lot easier to do, but it's kind of not here for some reason. Very strange. I'll have to just make one myself. So what I'll do is go back to the activator bear that we've made. I just know I'll probably end up missing a step here. Just want to make sure I'm calling this the right thing, which would be script trophy. This isn't MISC, this is the activator version of it. There we go. We put trophy in, you can see the build your own home ones are there, but we won't be able to edit the source. I'm going to put that one in just to... Actually, no. That's fine. Funnily enough, I actually need on activate now, so I'll steal that back and check the Twitch chat. Yeah, this is a brand new version of the one that's on Nexus. This has been built from the ground up. I've literally just completely, not exactly binned because I haven't deleted the files, but I've just started from scratch. Completely new version of the tower. And this will be far superior. For those of you that don't know, I have never played through my own version of this Caranthir Tower. I never played it, not once. I never actually played it through my own character. And I hate it. I hate the old one. I don't know how people liked it so much. And this is going to be more like the vision I had in the first place now that I've got the skills to make the one I actually want to make. And I'll be much happier with this. And I might actually use it my damn self. So here we go. On activate. If you're wondering what I was doing with the tabs, I just like to get things organised. It's just me being weird. So what else do we have? What do we do? It should be delete. I need to check this because it's been a while. But we don't want to disable it. We actually want to delete. Deletes the specific reference. So it should be able to say self dot delete. And before that, it needs to set the global back to 1. That doesn't say global, does it? CT global trophy dot set value to 1. And we're going to need a property for that. And that should be fine. I'm going to say if that doesn't compile. Damn. Right, there we go. And if I haven't missed anything, that should actually be it. Should be able to go in game and test that now. And in fact, I could set more of those up. So if I duplicate them, check 2 of them out, see what we can do with that. Just make sure that these are now pointing. Oh no, of course that's wrong because they'll just do it anyway. These need to all then just link, don't they? To that. It's going to be that easy. Oh, now that's interesting. It's not going to be that easy. Of course, they're all pointing at that marker. So what's going to happen now? I'm going to... Oh, no. Multiple of these. This is something I haven't considered. I'm going to need miscellaneous items and construction items, objects for each pad. They can't all use the same one. For now, we'll get one working. We'll just get one working for now. I'll figure that out in my own time. Okay. For now, let's get one working, but there's some more work to be done here. That should now work. The portal should work, this should work, and the only other thing that I wanted to do, which I don't think I'm going to bother tonight, is translating that other thing in the other room. So I'm going to close this and hopefully this all works. Crash. Thank you. Okay. Let us begin. Let's load this baby up. Let's hope that things are working. If this trophy thing works first time, I'll be very surprised. Very surprised indeed. But we might get lucky. Get straight to the apex this time. If it doesn't work, I might... these damn emails. If it doesn't work, the one thing I might do is either do it later and go straight to translate things, see if we can play with that, or I'll just end the stream. So here we go. Get me bearings. I knew that wasn't going to work. The activating of the fonts. I have a way around this, hopefully. Just to get around the crappy part. I'm going to have to use a console command to activate it for the moment, which hopefully gets us to where we want to be. That might be the other way around. I always forget activating them what you want to activate. Oh, you evil son of a bitch. Okay. What I should have done is probably just place it on somewhere else. TCM? Or TCL? I never remember that one. Should be able to walk through walls and stuff. Which is interesting because it's not wrong. TC? Change collision? Whoa. No. I thought that's what it was. It seems to be what it is, but it's not working. So I'm gonna have to think. There should be a script for it from Caranthir Tower, just to activate something else. I don't know why it's not working, to be honest. It's this whole do once thing that's making it be a complete pain. So we'll just quit out and we'll fix that. Sod it. That's annoying. Today would be nice. Right. One good sign with this at the moment is everything I've done, and I still haven't got a main error for the mod when loading up, which isn't bad. So I'm probably just going to hit these 4 errors. I'm going to go and grab myself a drink. Come back and we'll see what we can do. Really? Really? I shouldn't have opened my gob. What is this about? Apparently somewhere else out in the wilderness I've messed some nav mesh up, which is incredible because I haven't even touched the wilderness since I put the portal outside. That is absolutely brilliant. Really is. It's not usually. I noticed it's very, very rare to get a situation where you keep changing a script and eventually it just doesn't. It just won't work unless you restart your machine. I think I've had that in one occasion, a very long time ago. Normally, excuse me. Normally, when something's not working with the script, something hasn't updated, it's because you're using a save game, which is the worst thing to do when testing a mod. If you can help it, don't use a save. You want to use a fresh test profile or completely fresh character every single time to test your mods. Otherwise, things like scripts and even items that you've moved, updated in the kit move and then load back up, they're in the old location, even though you've moved them. So you want to be careful with that. You want to use a test character or fresh character each time. This isn't working because I thought it was a bit of a long shot with the Bethesda's default script. Here we go. All the errors again. Although I would be extremely worried if the creation kit ever loaded without one error. It'd just not be right, really. Let's take a look. Oh, look at that mess. Activate self-true, oh Jesus. Okay. iLink.activate, and then it will say that my link is get reference. Yes, object reference my link equals get link reference. So it would be get link reference dot activate self. Let's try our own script there. Or better yet, we'll probably be better seeing if we can just find the one that I did use. I'm sure I created my own for Mershkum. So much fun. Activate ref right at the top. There it is. Self dot get reference. What? on activate self dot get link reference dot activate game dot get play. Okay, that's fine. That should work. CT underscore. I sincerely hope nobody heard my flatulence then. Okay, underscore script. CT script. Activate link. That's what I'm calling this. I should just mute the mic if anything like that happens. Activate a linked reference upon activation. Sorry, just activate a link reference. Right, okay. That should do it. Remove that. It shouldn't even need a property. In fact, that's the better way of doing it now, isn't it? There we go, it should activate that. And just in case, just for now, I'm going to put this out here. And either way, that should bloody well work. But I'm also going to check that this wasn't the problem. Actor, create object, craft. It should really be that simple. And then even if your recipe wasn't working, it should load it. So we should be able to go in game again. Now, I am actually going to risk keeping the creation kit running for this. So this is kind of a test within the stream. I'll keep the creation kit running, see how we go, because this is only going to be a nip in and see if it works. And if things are going too slow, I'll either close the kit, the computer will crash or whatever. So this could be the end of the stream, but we shall see. Cross your fingers and toes. I think the worst thing that's kind of happened here before, when I've tried it, is it's a bit of a slow loading time. But this is the only thing that should go wrong here really is just the machine resources. I mean, I've got a decent spec machine, but as we all know, Windows is crap at managing resources sometimes. So with any luck, this will load without incident and we'll be able to test it. It's about right at the minute. Okay, there we go. So far so good. Haven't got any lag or anything. Just a hike to do every time. Right, that's worked that time. So I can move that back. Then we've got furniture, bear trophy. And now when we craft this, it should appear in front of us. There. And when you go on here, you can't overlay another trophy on top of it because of that global variable being on 0. And then you should be able to just remove the bear. And it should have changed that global back, which it isn't doing. I've probably not filled in the property or something. So that's the only thing wrong at the minute. Just getting that global back. But that works in a way. So that can sod off back in there. And I need to check this, don't I? When it was deleted, it needed to put the global back to what it was. No. Set value to 1. Shouldn't it be setting it to 0? Could be why. Get that it's on 0, and then that should be setting it to 1. Yeah, I got it the wrong way around. It's late, that's my excuse. Yeah, almost. Yeah, that'll work now. If that doesn't work, then I'll cry. I don't know if that's really worth nipping in and checking. I suppose it is. We can also check the portals then as well. So yeah, save again just to make sure, and we shall pop back in. I am quite liking the fact that this is working well with this little background thing. That's quite good. I use OBS, which stands for something. What is it? That's for like the Twitch stream. What the hell is it called? Something software. Open Broadcast. There we go. Open Broadcast software. A lot of people use XSplit for sort of professional Twitch streaming and stuff. This just seems easier to me. So let's go and see if this works. I should have put the X marker heading at the top level, so we haven't got to go and trek all the way up the bloody ramp again. But need soul gems as well. But if the portal works, should be able to just beam up there. So if we just add ourselves a grand soul gem, which I've already forgotten, the code for. I messed that up, didn't I? What happened there? Oh, I see. Oh, God. Really? All the keys on the keyboard. And then pick that one. Grand Soldier. There we go. Okay. Enable the fill soul gem. Beam us up. There we go. Bit dodgy, but it kind of worked. Should be able to go back down as well. Yeah, don't ask me how that happens. Somehow you can access one of the ingredients at the bottom through the top of here. Would you like to charge it with a soul gem? Yes. Now it lights up. Oh, can't go to the forge, obviously. Let's go back down to the lobby. That one's broken. Oh, God. Because we need to do the translate thing and have that go into the floor, so... Let's go back to the apex. This is very cool. Ah, that's so annoying. I know what that is. I can change that. Fixed it. Already got it. I know what that is. Right, anyway. Create our bear. Move our bear. Create our bear. Remove our bear. There we go. So that's working. Portals are kind of working, although they need some tweaking. And it's all good, so that's off by default, kind of. Brighten it up. Should now work. That is pretty cool. I'm really chuffed about that now. Now I just have to make more recipes. And we are good to go. So, I think that might be it. Really coming together quite nice. Central. Yep. Let's think. So all of this, which is a total of 1, 2, 3, oh, sod that off, 4 things need to lower, and it will look like that. So I need to tell 4 items to translate one way and then the other. So I need 2 sets of coordinates. Now this has also been a long time, so might be on the other page. Another thing to be aware of when you're using this, there is another page. I didn't even know about it for a long time. Another page of this stuff. Translate to. Now, by looking around on forums, I found out the answer to the whole collision issue. You have a load of collision here when the item's there. When all the items moved down there, the problem was the collision remained. You have to change the NIF of each one that you're having move to be an animated object, so it can move and the collision will go with it. Otherwise you'll be bumping into an invisible wall. So the way you do that, if I just go into my own mesh, which one? That one. As you can see, the collision section here, this is in NIF scope, this is the collision part. Click on here, should have a rigid body. If the item doesn't have collision, well, you're good to go, because the problem isn't a problem. But you'll have this here, rigid body, and by default this layer here, this is going to be set to static. So, excuse me a moment. Noisy humans. Right, so this is set to static. So I'm just double clicking and scrolling, but if you want to do it properly, you can double click. Click on this arrow here. Click animate anim static. Scroll down a bit and there'll be layer copy. That'll be in the same way. Set that to the same. Scroll down a bit. This one here, motion system. This is probably going to be on that one there. Mosys box stabilize. So change it to Mosys box. Then you're going to want to save that NIF as your own NIF, point to it in the creation kit, as I have. And you're going to have to do that with each object that you want to have translate. Otherwise, the collision will remain behind. Now, I can't remember who the hell figured that out, who posted it on a forum, but I found it somewhere. I didn't figure that out. That was something that I did once with an older mod. In fact, an older version of this. And there was just collision in the way. And somebody has figured that out. So thank you to whoever that might have been. Because it's making a lot of this mod possible. A lot of the cool ideas. So if we go back and look at translate to, you have a number of coordinates. So the first part of the line is the item that you're going to translate. Then you've got translate to, and then you've got a set of coordinates. Now these coordinates, if you just go Alt and 1, are the 3D data tab on here. So 0, 0, 16, rotation 0, 0, 0. Now I'm going to want to take a record of their existing locations. So yeah, I've numbered them to make this easier. So I'm going to put up and then 01. So the details for this, if I don't put anything for a position, that's going to mean that it's 0. So the only thing I've got to change is Z to 16. So I need to get the position of each of these. That should be number 2. These are probably going to be the same actually. Up is all 0s and 16, and I imagine that is the same for most, but not all. That's going to be 1 and 2. I tell you, this is just messing me about. That's 1 and 2. The Z on this will be a bit different. That's going to be that. And the rest 4. 4 is going to be that. It's no different again. They're all basically in the center. I think this is going to be a heck of a lot easier than I'm anticipating. The only thing that's really changing is the Z-axis. So yeah, I really don't need that whole rest crap. So basically 1, 2 is 16. That's that. That's that. Now, what I'm going to do, save it and select all of those parts again, if I can. So if I select those parts and drag them down to where I want them to end up, which is there, and what I'm going to do is copy that number. So now we need down. 1 and 2 will be the same again. 3. Just going to hide all the completely unnecessary bits. 3 is actually 0. And 4 is going to be that. Something I had just noticed. I'm just going to go undo. Or am I going to go undo? By default, this needs to be up, yes. So undo basically. Oh, wonderful. Ah, there we go. That's why. Right, okay. I thought it wasn't undoing then, it was because they were hidden. Undo, by default it's going to be open. So the only thing I need to check is I just noticed that the rotation wasn't quite right on one of them. That's interesting. I swear one of them had rotated strangely. Never mind. Okay. So, we've got the positions. As you can see here, it states what each of these are. So, absolute world coordinates. That's what we've been copying there. Just check the Twitch chat, see if everyone's sort of managing to follow. Yeah. Should still be streaming quite fine, yeah. What are we doing? What are we doing? We need to at least have something that activates it, and we'll put the script onto there. So I'm going to put sort of a test button for now. This isn't going to be the thing that I use, but it's going to get our thing up and running. So CT script, entrance interior. activation. I just need on activate them somewhere if anything wants to blooming give it me. I'll just snag it back off here. On activate, the first thing I want to do is turn a specific light off, which is this, through this process. There's a bit more I'm going to have to add to this later because of certain conditions which I won't go into, but I'll keep it simple for now. Light.disable. I want to disable that light, and I also want to disable one of the pads. By default, I'm going to put some if statements in here, and I'm going to create a global. Global entrance interior dot get value 1. 1 is going to state that it is up, erect, not retracted into the ground. God, I can't even think. Yeah. That was a mess. Entrance interior. By default 1. There we go. So it knows what state it's in. Now, there are states and stuff that you can use. I just use it this way. It's the way I know. I can't be asked to muck around learning anything else. It'll do for now. Basically, if it's in the state of 1, if it's going to be risen, it needs to go down. So, this is where translate comes into play. To start with, it's going to disable the light. Then it's going to disable a certain pad. CTRF portal, entrance interior. Disable that. And then it is going to do this translating. Got people still watching? Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me if people are getting a bit bored now. But this bit is really cool. So translate the bird slowly. This should just add a speed, which is pretty important. And this is going to be a lot of guesswork. I'm going to guess 50. And these are going to be the positions. So we need to match the positions up. Z is third. Third along 1, 2, 3. So whatever that is there, and this is going to be number 1. So number 1 Z down. It's going to have to be in the down position. So it's going to be this. And I'll need the name of these references. So, CTRF lobby portal. Don't want it to rotate or anything, so we're going to keep all these at 0. 1. 1? The bloody hell's 1 for? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. 10. Slowly, 10. 10 is maximum rotation speed. 10 is rotation speed, so that needs to be about 20 then, let's say. 20 in all the rest series. Copy this. This one's going to be the same. But for number 2. And that is going to be number 3. And for number 3, it was 0. Okay. 0.0. Then for 4. And that was -1 or something, yep. There we go. And I need to give that time to happen, so I'm probably going to wait about 7 seconds. Utility.wait 7. And I want to re-enable the light. Now I'm going to say else. In this case, else if the value is the opposite way. And in fact, this needs to set that value. Of course it does. If it's on 1, it needs to put it to 0. So it's going to be very similar. That this time is going to enable that light, and it's going to set the value to 1. And the translation, so 16 for these, is that -16? Yep. -16 for those. That one, and that for that one. And that should be it. Balls. I've actually made a few mess ups. I'm trying to rush things here. I need to state all of these references. That doesn't say property. Here we go. Object reference property. Copy that. Copy those. Object reference property ref. This is going to have to be light portal lobby. And also one for entrance portal. Entrance interior. Oh, there's always something. Entrance interior is undefined 17. Really? CT global entrance. Interior. Slight hiccup. And I will be surprised if that works first time. Fill all those in, that's fine. confirm all of that. Hopefully that goes quite smoothly. We'll be able to activate that. In fact, another thing is making sure that it waits until the process is finished to be able to activate it again, but for now I'll just be careful what I'm doing, and we'll see if we happen to have got the timing right. And the speed. What's that? Right. Let's go then. Let's get this working. Just make sure I hit that. And let's see. That should be all good. If it is, I shall end the stream there. If it isn't, I'll still do the same. And I'll figure it out after. But the idea is there. Come on. Right. No, it's not Apex, is it? Oh, Central. Oh, okay. We're going to have to make our way down. So we're going to have to put a soldier in. Good job our portals working. Turn our portal on, go down to the lobby. Here we go. Moment of truth. Oh dear. Okay, so we need a bit more speed and one of the things isn't moving. Or two of the things isn't moving. Well, that's interesting. Probably just made a basic error there, but it's pretty much happening, so I think it's coordinates more than anything, so because that's now going to end up inside the library, which is just awesome. That's fantastic. Okay then, so on that complete failure, I'm probably going to leave the stream there, quit out of here. So I'm going to have to figure out why that's doing that. I'll fix that up, that'll be working no problem, and add some sound effects as well. So yeah, anything else in the chat? Okay, so thank you for watching, whether it be on YouTube or it's been live on Twitch or wherever. Go check out my antisocial websites, my main website, everything. If you want to keep up with the news of the tower, then my website is one of the main places to go, as there's a page on there under Caranthir Tower and version 2 now where you can find new images info on there. The Facebook page will generally get the same stuff anyway, and that's all good. So yeah, thanks to everyone for watching.